Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and explore the ultimate mission control of your entire body, the nervous system. I mean, from writing a novel to juggling or honestly just breathing, this system dictates absolutely everything you do. There is quite literally no you without it. To really understand how this system works, we're going to jump right into a high-stakes action sequence. Picture this. You're just sitting there, relaxing, you look down, and you feel 8 tiny legs creeping across your bare skin. Now, what's mind-blowing here is the sheer speed of the biological computing that happens before you even have a chance to scream. Your body is detecting data, processing it, and physically reacting in literally fractions of a second. But how does that actually happen?
Well, it turns out that every single thought, emotion, and action you take basically boils down to these 3 principal functions firing in rapid succession. This is the core focus of our explainer today. We've got sensory input, integration, and motor output. These 3 steps run your entire world. So let's break them down one by one, using our 8-legged friend as the trigger.
All right, starting things off. Phase 1, sensory input.
Let's zoom way down to the microscopic level, right to the exact spot where those spider legs make contact with your skin. To gather this input, your body uses a very specific communication pathway. The sensory receptors on your skin act as your frontline scouts. They detect that creepy crawly and immediately send a warning signal up what's called the afferent division. A good trick here? Think A for arriving at the brain. This is the pathway that picks up a stimulus, like the tickle of a spider, and slings that critical info straight toward your brain. And the guys doing the heavy lifting here are your unipolar sensory neurons. They have just one organic process extending from their cell body, and they are firing that desperate electrical warning away from your knee, rocketing it towards your central command center.
Which brings us right to phase 2, integration. So that electrical signal from your knee races up an axon wrapped in insulating Schwann cells and slams right into mission control. Your central nervous system, or CNS, which is just your brain and spinal cord, receives the data. And this is exactly where integration happens. Your brain has to instantly process the threat level here. It's taking that raw data from the sensory input and deciding, okay, what exactly are we going to do about this?
Inside the CNS, the signal hits your inner neurons, also known as association neurons. Fun fact, these are actually the most abundant neurons in your entire body. They rapidly pass the data around your brain to interpret exactly what that tickling sensation means.
So, the crucial moment is this rapid internal debate where your brain splits the signal to make a choice. The inner neurons have confirmed, yep, it's a spider. Now, do we maintain our dignity, stay completely zen, and just let it walk over us? Or do we absolutely lose our minds, freak out, and run around screaming?
And that decision kicks off phase 3, motor output.
This is the explosive physical reaction. Your brain makes its choice, and let's be real, we're probably choosing the freak out option, and it sends rapid-fire orders back down the efferent division. Think E for exiting the brain. If the afferent division was the inward messenger, this efferent division is the outward commander. It's telling your hand to lash out and swat that spider away.
And it pulls this off using multipolar neurons. Actually, literally 99% of all your neurons are multipolar. They have 3 or more processes sticking out from the cell body. And they're the exact ones triggering your thigh muscles to kick out, sometimes before your conscious brain has even fully processed what's happening.
Now, during all this intense physical flailing, your autonomic nervous system is working overtime. It engages its sympathetic division. That's your classic panic mode, mobilizing your whole body into action. But thankfully, that is followed shortly after by the parasympathetic division. This is the complementary force that relaxes your body, talking you down once the spider is gone, and basically reminding you to breathe.
Okay, let's take a breath ourselves and look at the cellular support crew. We've covered the big 3 functions, sensory input, integration, motor output, but we absolutely have to acknowledge the high-maintenance cellular crew that makes this insanely fast reaction possible. We've talked about neurons a lot. They're some of the longest-lived cells you have, but they are emitotic, meaning once they take on their role, they lose the ability to divide. They are completely irreplaceable. They rely on the soma for life support, dendrites to act as the listeners picking up gossip from other cells, and a long axon acting as the talker to transmit that electrical reaction.
And because they are doing so much heavy lifting, these tiny cells have a crazy high metabolic rate. They need a constant, steady supply of glucose and oxygen. To put it in perspective, they consume a staggering 25% of your daily calories just to keep your brain running. a quarter of your food just for this.
But here is a super fascinating twist. Neurons actually don't work alone. They get all the glory, sure, but they are protected by a massive army of neuroglia, or glial cells. These guys outnumber neurons 10 to 1 and make up literally half of your brain's mass. This unsung support crew is absolutely essential for anchoring, defending, cushioning, and insulating your neurons so they can fire off those rapid signals.
So we've really seen the whole picture today. We know that sensory input, integration, and motor output are the three fundamental steps that save you from a spider attack. We know about the different divisions and the complex cells making it all happen. But seeing all these pieces laid out leaves us with a pretty massive, stupefyingly awesome question. How in the world do these individual cells actually use chemistry and electricity to talk to each other so incredibly fast? Well, that is exactly what we are going to unpack in our next experiment.